Hey, I'm John Coley with Lake Martin Voice Realty, and I'm going to show you the Lake Martin Waterfront Home Real Estate Report for 2019. And then at the very end, I'm going to give you sort of an overall market trend. That's me. Okay, so what has happened January 2019? This is waterfront home sales on Lake Martin for the month of January. I like to compare month to month from the same month prior year. So let's see what happened. In 2018, there were 13 homes sold in 2018 during the month of January. And then in 19, we were down. There were 11 sold in the month of January in 2019. This isn't really, I don't really watch the month of January really big time because we're a seasonal market. And that means most of our sales come March to October every year. So January, I'm not really worried about the low number, but I am worried a little bit about the difference here because that those 11 sales means that we are down about 16% from the prior year of 2018. Now, my source for this is the Lake Martin MLS. And the Lake Martin MLS reports this up to Alabama Center for Real Estate. So this is where all these numbers are coming. So we're down a little bit in the month of January. So what happened to our inventory? All right, so these are January, how many waterfront homes were for sale or our inventory in the month of January. That's what I mean by residential inventory. All right, so in 2018, I forgot to write this right here. In January 2018, we had 175 residential properties for sale. And then in 2019, we had 223. So that is an increase of about 27%. That to me is a pretty significant number. I need to move over. Okay, that to me is a pretty significant number, 27%. Now, you need to know this is all waterfront properties, all for Lake Martin, and they are homes as well as condos and villas. So of that 223 and 175, probably about 30 to 35 of these were condos or villas. So the rest of these were single-family homes. I love these questions. A lot of people, feel free to ask questions along in the chat or the comments. I've had some people ask me about my last report because they had some differing numbers. And they said, hey, we had different numbers from you. I'm right here, I'm including all waterfront properties. So again, this is single family homes, condos, villas, and all that stuff. But of this, I'd say probably about right now in in this time frame, we usually have about 35 waterfront condos for sale in these months that we're talking about. So you can do the easy math. What else do I need to talk about? Oh, I also had some questions. How is this number computed? You got a whole month of January. How do you come up with one inventory number? So what I did a little research, and what I found was that the MLS comes up with this number. They do it in one report, and they look on the 15th of each month. It's hard to say. So on the 15th of January 19, we had 223 residential waterfront properties. On the 15th of January 18, we had 175. So is that the perfect way to do it? I don't know. But as long as, it's like statistics in anything, I believe that as long as you consistently use the same parameters every time you look, you can spot trends easily. And that's what I'm trying to do here, is to kind of step back a little bit and look at the overall trends. All right, so sales down, inventory up. It's kind of the same month, same story as 2018 whole last year. I also like to look at waterfront lots because, there's lots of people that obviously buy a lot. And so what happened in sales so far in January? So again, like I told you, we're a tiny little small market here, so don't think this is crazy. But we had 7 lots were sold in January of 2018 as compared to 4 in January 19. So we decreased. That's like a 43% decrease, which sounds like a big, huge number. It's only 3 lots. I'm not really worried about that. But it is notable to note that we are down in lot sales. Again, what is interesting too is inventory for waterfront lots. I had a guy I was talking to this morning that said, hey, how many lots are for sale? What are the general price ranges? And so this is kind of hopefully will help that guy out. In 2018, there were about 86 lots for sale in January. And then in 2019, there were 114 in January of 19. So that's an increase of about, what's my math right? Increase of about 33%. Am I surprised by that? No. because I know I'm the listing agent, praise the Lord, on one neighborhood that had a total of 41 lots. We've sold 10. And it's really, really rare for whole neighborhoods to come for sale on Lake Martin. As you can see, we're in a very, very small market. So an increase of 33%, I'm not surprised about, because probably 30 of those are in Kennebec. So that's a difference of about 28 lots for sale, and that's about the difference in Kennebec. So I think that's the Kennebec effect is what you're seeing right there, and that's the name of the neighborhood. So stepping back, lot sales down, home sales down, both lots and waterfront residential inventories are up. I'm still thinking, especially after this month, that we have seen the last of the seller's market in 2017. I made the case for that last month and kind of went through multiple years. Please go back if you just don't need to, if you are totally devoid of anything to do, go back and look at December 18's market report, and I lay it out year by year. I go back several years. And I had some questions about that too. So I thought I'd look a little more in depth. And so what I thought I'd do is I wanted to look at year to year and show you the trend, because like I said earlier, what I really focus on is not on the direction of the market. I'm convinced that if you look at year to year sales, you can see which way the market is going. I might lay that out in a different video. I didn't come up with that. But anyway, what I wanted to show you is this. I hope you can see this, but basically what I did was I looked at 15, 16, 17, and 18. And then I looked month to month, and of course when I printed out, the months didn't line up, but you get the idea. So what I did was I looked and I tried to show any time a month lost to the same month the prior year, I highlighted it in red. So for instance, in 2018, December they sold 16 homes, that's the entire lake. In December of 17, they sold 23. So December 18 lost to the prior year, so that's why it's in red. Now in 2017, they sold 23 waterfront homes, or waterfront residential properties. 2016, they sold 16. 17 won, so that's why it's in white. Ties, I put in blue. So I just want to show you visually the trend here. So since 2019 in January we lost, so that means we're on a 6 straight month losing streak. So we had 5-month losing streak in 18, plus 1 in 19 is 6. We actually, 18 won 1 month. And then before that, if you look at the last 13 months, I guess is what I'm trying to spit out. If you look at the last 13 months for Lake Martin real estate, all but 1 month we've lost to the prior year. Now, I think 2017 was the best year ever. Yeehaw, whoopee. And it was a lot better than 2016. Before that, I think 2015 was the best year on record. So 2015 is the number 2 year. 2017 is the number 1 year. And so what's 2019 going to be like? Hey, I don't know. We're just looking at 1 month. Like I said, January is a pretty unimportant, kind of lame month in the whole grand scheme of things. So I don't know. It might be a great year. But look what happened in 16. 2015 was the best year ever to date. 2016 was about 10% down. See all those losses 16 racked up? But then 2017 leapfrogged 15 and became the best year ever. So, hey, for all I know, we might leapfrog them in 2019. Who knows? But I will say this, the way the trend is going, the trend is not looking that way. So I do think that our peak of the seller's market was in 2017. Now, what does that mean for sellers? Does that mean it's a terrible time to sell? No, not really, because in 16 it was a great time to sell. But sellers, you just need to know that, and you need to price your home accordingly. You need to realize that buyers are doing, like, when you look on Amazon and you're looking at, like I bought my dad a megaphone for his birthday. I looked at 7 different megaphones on Amazon before I decided what I wanted to buy. People look at different houses. What does this mean for buyers? For buyers, I think it's a pretty critical moment, because I think if what I'm saying is right and 2017 was the peak of the seller's market, buyers, if you've been sitting on the sidelines for the past 3 or 4 years trying to wait out this seller's market, the wait might be over. So if that's the case, come on, I'd love to help you out. Again, I'm John Coley with Lake Martin Voice Realty. My website is lakemartinvoice.com. If you have any questions, comment on this stream, or just email me, john@lakemartinvoice.com, or just give me a shout. I'd love to help you out. Thanks.